unfortunately, the reactionary resistance movement, with the help of religious group, Feudal, and Reza Shah himself, defeated this move. Instead, Reza Shah introduced a new form of secularism along with dictatorship. The state and its administrative were totally influenced deeply by Islam. Islam had upper hand in all levels of the law, identity cards and official papers. His son, Mohammad Reza Shah Pahlavi, followed the same practice. The only difference was due to enforcement of land reform, which happened from top. So feudalism declined greatly, and as a result, that boosted secularism among vast majority of people. In 1978, the revolution against monarchy came about with short period of democracy, which was only lasted 2 years and a half. During this short period, freedom and secularism found room to grow. A study of this era can easily illustrate the thirst of people in Iran for political freedom, social progress, and secularism. But the Islamic counter-revolution, with the help of Western government, unlike the professor believes that Western government had nothing to do with Islamic regime, no, with the influence and actually directed by Western governments, managed to suppress people's desire. Khomeini, in fact, finished the job of Mohammad Reza Shah, finished the revolution. Shah tried so much to prevent revolution, and Khomeini came and absolutely ended the revolution. When we said ended the revolution, it means that we did not achieve anything out of it, except the history and experience. The movement of secularism has a strong connections with people's routine and daily activities. This is something which is missing among the speech of the professor. The routine of people, he only talked about the drink. He didn't talk about people having relationship with each other without mullah signing to say you have right to have relationship with your husband or your partner or your boyfriend. They're starting having babies without any kind of contract, marriage contract signed by Sharia. And I know this because I used to be a teacher, and I know this because I'm an activist, and I've been among these people, and I'm still an activist. So Sharia means nothing among these people. By birth, that's right, 90% of populations by birth are Muslim. For instance, my daughter, when she was born, I had to pay 2,000 tuman that time in order to name her Ronak, because it was not Islamic name. But for my son, I had no problem. His name was Sina. It's not Islamic name. It's a scientist name, and it has something. It means Abu Ali Sina. So therefore, they allowed it. So during my time, which was the beginning of revolution, people could not even name their children differently. But now, if you go through the books, even the Islamic regime books, you can hardly find any Islamic names. People totally change their names. Muhammad comes here and changed the names to Shayan. So that shows, in practice, people have no bond with Sharia, no bond with religions. By birth, yes, 100% could be Sharia or any other religion. But in reality, they have parties, they drink, they have relationship, and religion is out of their mind. And nobody can control them. By reality, they do not want religion to be part of their life. In fact, the banner of religion, hands off women's rights, is everywhere. If you read all these slogans in Iran, you can see that. Or children's life. The movement for secularism has strong connections with people's routine and daily activity. Can you imagine an industrial society with great young educated population being against or not being in favor of secularism? Believe me, as the professor said, the majority, almost half of population, they were born after revolution. And these people, They listen to the last music of Western world. They tattoo themselves. They dance up to God knows what time. These people have no belonging to the religion. These people, they have uprising of students. They build youth movement. So how can you say to these people, believe in religion and go to Friday prayers? So can you imagine an industrial society with great, young, educated population being against or not being in favor of secularism? In the past, of course, we have observed people of one society being silenced under the rule of dictatorship. But now, I'm talking about 21st century. But now to be able to push back the modern, progressive, and secular lives of people to 1,400 years ago, it's impossible. Their resistance against this pushback is impossible. And that's why you can see uprising everywhere. This is why people in Iran are in constant challenge with the Islamic regime for their political freedom and civil rights, with the circumstances they are in, and with the daily face-to-face confrontation. People have no choice but to take the political approach against Islamic State. So the reality is, when we have lipstick hijab, can you believe that a lady who is Islamic herself, is a political Islam, which I'm going to talk about it soon, she wrote a book of lipstick hijab, lipstick revolution. Students take lipsticks in. This is a banner for them, a banner for getting free of religion. And then Islamic regime with the revolutionary guard comes and cuts your lip because you're wearing lipstick. So what would happen? The challenge against this is so much that they are going to bring the God down, because all these things are done under the name of religion, Islam, and God's rule. So therefore, if they want to achieve any political achievement, any social achievement, they have to bring this God and these rules down. There is no other way. This is why I strongly believe the secularism would start from Iran. What I intend to proclaim is that the prospects for secularism in Iran is very clear. Iran as a society has been dedicated to civilizations and has the thirst for modernism and the Western culture. Once again, look at the population. 150,000 Iranians are living in Toronto. Among these people, hardly you can find 100 people, 100 countable people who are wearing the veils. And these are the people who work for Islamic regime of Iran. And I have 5 offices across Toronto. I have office in Thornhill, Richmond Hill, Markham, and Toronto. I have never seen any of my clients coming in my office with the hijab.
But how would the head scarf?
I'm going nothing at all. Iranians, they wear short sleeves. Iranian women, you can see themselves. You can see the professor. He himself is defending Islam, but he's wearing tie. This is a westernized clothing. If it's not, tell me what. Even themselves, when they come out of country, immediately they change to westernized clothing. The struggle for women against compulsory wealth, attraction of youth geared to achieve university degrees, which, as the professor says, is the highest among the whole population, even in the West. And they achieve the highest education. Attraction of youth towards Western culture, music, film, fashion. The struggle of women to obtain right to divorce and right to have custody for their children. And do you know what it means? According to the chart which you've seen, the women have no right to travel by the chart, not by their culture, by their religion, forced on them by the political Islam.